So doing a site crawl is another really important step to take when you're trying to identify what's going on with the traffic loss. So there's a bunch of tools out there that can do a site crawl. So some just focus on site crawls, some are more all-in-one solutions like the Searchmetrics suite, but it's really just important to actually do a crawl because it'll help you identify any sort of technical issues or errors that are popping up on your website. So if you're losing traffic, it could be because maybe you're actually blocking the Google bots from crawling portions of your site. That would be a big problem to look into fixing. Or maybe there was an algorithm update that rolled out that really hammered websites that have a slower page speed or loading times. So it might be really important to identify those important URLs, make sure your site is a little bit quicker. I'm going to show you a couple important metrics to look at within a crawl I've actually done for HoustonPress.com. So I went in here into the server responses section. So this is just checking and making sure that you don't have like a lot of 404 errors, pages that can't be found, or you don't have a lot of redirect pages, things along those lines. In this case, for the pages that I've crawled, looks like most of these pages are pretty healthy. So you might want to look into something else here. So we could look into canonical tags, for example, and we want to identify if their URLs, or a lot of these URLs have canonical tags. You can see here that a lot of them don't. So it's just only 7 of the 5,000 that I crawled actually have canonical tags. So that might be something that we want to change from a structural perspective. We can also look in and go to page speed. As I mentioned before, Google really does hammer companies sometimes for having a slow page speed. So you can see a lot of their pages are fairly slow. So we can go in and identify which URLs those are and how quickly they're actually loading. So that would be one thing to look at. Other important things we might want to look at, so we don't want to look at broken and redirected links. We don't want to have a lot of broken links on the site. We also want to go into, and I'm going to show you this link equity optimization portion. So this is all about internal linking. So if you're not familiar with internal linking is basically your way of telling Google which pages on your website are the most important. And you're doing this by actually pointing certain pages to those important pages. So you're basically linking them together. So the pages that are really important on your website, you want to make sure that you can get to that page from a lot of other pages on the website. So in the Searchmetrics suite, we actually have an SPS score, so Searchmetrics page strength score. 10 means they're really important, they're well linked. 1 means they're not well linked. So you'll want to go through and look at all the different URLs on your website and determine, okay, is this an important URL and how well is it linked? Am I telling Google that this is an important page on the site? And then what you're going to want to do is actually set up monthly crawls to see how those things are changing over time and determine, is this having an impact or reversing the actual traffic loss to my website?